I used to babysit a lot when I was younger. It was easy money, and most of the families in my neighborhood were kind, normal people. But there's one night I'll never forget. I wish I could erase it from my memory, but even now, years later, I still get chills every time my phone rings late at night. A woman I barely knew asked me to babysit her 2 kids. She seemed polite, maybe a little rushed, but nothing unusual. The house was in a quiet area, big but not fancy. When I arrived, the kids were already in their pajamas, playing on the living room floor. She quickly gave me instructions. The kids were to be in bed by 9, no sweets after dinner, and I could help myself to the TV or snacks once they were asleep. Everything felt normal. She kissed the kids goodnight, grabbed her purse, and left. I locked the door behind her and settled into the night. The kids were sweet, and by 9:15, both of them were asleep in their rooms upstairs. I sat on the couch with my phone, half watching some random movie on TV, when the landline rang. At first, I hesitated. Hardly anyone uses landlines anymore, but maybe it was important. I picked it up. "Hello." A woman's voice answered. Calm. Soft. Almost too soft. "Is everything okay with the children?" I froze for a second. The voice sounded exactly like their mother. "Yes," I said cautiously. "They're asleep." There was a pause. A long, heavy pause. Then. "Good. Don't let them wake up. I'll be home soon." The line clicked, and she was gone. I shook it off. Maybe she was just checking in from a different phone. Parents worry, it made sense. But something about the tone in her voice felt off. It was too flat, too rehearsed. I tried to ignore it, scrolling on my phone to distract myself. But 15 minutes later, the landline rang again. I answered, more hesitant this time. "Hello. Don't lie to me." The same voice, low and cold. "The children aren't safe. You need to check on them." My heart skipped. Who is this? No answer. Just breathing. Then a whisper. "Go upstairs." I slammed the phone down, my hands shaking. I wanted to call the mother on her cell, but I realized she never gave me her number, just her home phone and address. I told myself it had to be a prank. Some creep who somehow knew she was out. But then I remembered something that made my stomach twist. The caller had asked if the children were okay. How would anyone else know there were kids in the house? I grabbed a kitchen knife and went upstairs. The hallway light flickered as I passed by, and I almost turned back. The house felt too quiet. I opened the first bedroom door. The boy was sound asleep, curled up with his blanket. Perfectly fine. I breathed a little easier and checked the second room. The little girl was asleep too, her stuffed rabbit tucked under her arm. Nothing was wrong. I felt stupid. Overreacting. Until I noticed something that froze me in place. The girl's window was open. I was sure it had been closed earlier. I shut it quickly, locked it, and pulled the curtains tight. Maybe I had just missed it before. Maybe. I tiptoed back downstairs, clutching the knife so tightly my hand ached. My body was screaming at me to leave, but the kids were there, I couldn't just abandon them. The phone rang again. I didn't want to answer. I wanted to run. But my hands acted on their own, lifting the receiver. This time, the voice was sharper. More urgent. "Why didn't you listen? He's already inside." My blood turned cold. "Who the hell are you?" I shouted, my voice cracking. Silence. Then, slowly, "Get out." I dropped the phone and ran for the door, but before I could reach it, I heard something upstairs. A heavy, dragging step. I froze. The kids. I couldn't leave them. I bolted up the stairs, knife in hand, and burst into the little girl's room. She was sitting up now, crying softly, pointing toward the closet. The boy had wandered in too, clutching his blanket, his eyes wide. The closet door was half open. I didn't think. I lunged forward and slammed it shut, locking it with the little hook on the outside. Something inside pushed back, hard. The door rattled, shaking violently, but the lock held. "Take the kids!" I screamed at myself. I grabbed their hands, dragging them out of the room, down the hall, and into the bathroom. I locked the door, shoved the kids into the bathtub, and crouched in front of them, knife ready. For minutes, long, endless minutes, we heard banging from upstairs. Then footsteps. Slow. Heavy. Pacing the hallway. And then, silence. I don't know how long we stayed in that bathroom. It felt like hours. Finally, headlights flashed through the window. Their mother had come home. I rushed downstairs with the kids, tears streaming down my face. When she walked through the door, I nearly collapsed. She looked at me like I was crazy as I tried to explain. She ran upstairs, flung open the closet door, but of course, it was empty. The police came later, searched the whole house, every corner, every lock. They found nothing. No signs of forced entry. No footprints. Nothing. But I know what I saw. I know something, or someone, was in that closet. And I will never forget the sound of that voice on the phone. To this day, I don't answer unknown calls. And I never babysit anymore.